Well, we're going to talk for a few minutes about what it's like to have children in the household when caregiving is going on. Most of the research that we conduct on caregiving for the elderly looks at adult children as caregivers or spouses of the elderly as caregivers. And there's a group of individuals who are often not considered in this research, and that is adult or adolescent children or younger children in the home who are actively participating in the care of that grandparent. We know that there are approximately 1.3 million child caregivers, defined as those under the age of 18, in the United States who are providing care to adults, predominantly grandparents, grandmothers, and mothers. What we don't know a lot about is how this is impacting them in terms of their current development and their future development. The little bit of research that has been done suggests that adult caregivers who suffer from depression, anxiety, physical decline because of their caregiving roles, we're actually seeing similar kinds of things for child caregivers. That is, we see a mixed bag. We see some positive impacts, but we also see some negative impacts in terms of their feelings about how stressed they are, how time is crunched for them. In some sense, fear, not knowing what to do for a grandparent. Or a parent who might need some care. We also do see some positive impacts in that these children do see benefits. They often feel grown up and feel like they're contributing to the care of that family member that they have a relationship with. But not only are we concerned with what's going on today, we also have to be concerned with what's going on in the future. That is, we know that we will need families to continue to provide care to our oldest members as we age and become more dependent on other people for some help. And it's important that the experiences that young children and adolescents have in their caregiver roles be positive. Some people wonder whether we should be allowing children and adolescents to provide care. I maintain that this is part of life. One of the things we're socialized for is how to contribute to our society, how to care for other individuals, and caregiving for elderly family members is one way in which we can teach some really positive things to our youngest generations. What we want to be sure of, though, is to make sure that we give them enough support and enough information that allows them to manage the stress that often comes along with caregiving, and that the caregiving tasks are actually appropriate to their developmental age. So what are some tips? What are some things we can do to help children as caregivers? One thing, probably first and foremost, is that we communicate to them. When there's an elderly person in the family that's having some difficulty, whether it's physical difficulty or mental difficulty due to something such as Alzheimer's disease, we do need to talk to these children and adolescents and frame it in a way that they can understand. To say nothing suggests to these young people that yes, there's stress going on, but I can't share with you what it is. And what that does is it leaves them vulnerable. They're not able to cope as well if they don't know what it is they're dealing with. So if you have a situation in which a grandparent, for example, has Alzheimer's disease, to have a discussion with that child or children to let them know what that actually means, what can they expect from the disease. And if you aren't equipped to offer this kind of information, to contact community agencies that do have the information, such as Aging and Independence Services or the Alzheimer's Association. Another tip would be to listen to the kids, to when they're telling you this is too much for me, I'm too stressed out, or when they're telling you in other ways, perhaps they're acting out, perhaps they're bullying others at school, or they're not getting along with teachers. These can be indicators that stress is taking over their day and making it more difficult for them to function in the ways that they need to be able to function in order to be successful in school.